Welcome, beautiful people. Hope you made it all very well through the challenges of all the eclipses that made us stronger and that opened up a brand new door, universally speaking, but also on the earth plane as we are moving from now until the end of August actually into the nurturing energies, and many new things will surface as if we didn't have enough yet. Truth is truth and will surface more and more and more. So here the nurturing energies, which comes from the essence of water creatures, essentially, so connecting with the water content in your body and connecting that to many oceans is imperative to do in order to get that new information down. So the Cancer energy, but also that southern crux is very important to connect with. As many know, that is opening up new creative engine with the lady light, or what many call the divine feminine energies, that nurtures this time around very much the self, the mother energies, because it's important to bring the severity of balance into nurturing others, including the soil, because the earth has had enough and will not take it anymore, as we know. And so we will come up with a lot new things that are becoming a necessity, as we will not allow governments to plant the idea of a vaccine, to plant our brains into oblivion, to plant 5G stations that literally burn our consciousness or divine essence, and so much more on the planet. We will not allow the degrading of consciousness anymore, and so we all need to speak up, voice out, and allow the masks to go into oblivion. And that is all about nurturing the self, standing tall in your true identity and not allowing any outside identities to fuse with your brains for the manipulation and control. So the energies are opening up for the sake of humanity to nurture the self into the higher levels of energies with that lady light that opens up creative and genes, seen as a solution, actually a solution within community building, a solution with everything that is going on, and how we can pause that before the second lockdown comes through, which we are willing to avoid, right? So it's important to move or to resurrect self into the energies, um, everything that is nature, the water engines with the orange ray, and the severity or the detail work that comes with it, especially with the new moon, 20th of July 2020. So a very important date in time in which that new moon is going to hit new life on the planet, on every corner. Many people will feel they are willing to move to another place, such as myself. Like, I have enough of Europe. and I feel the urge in my body. I can hardly hold back, and finding my statue on another place on the planet. So I'm very open just to move and leave this place behind as it is, because there's many places worldwide that nobody should ever live for the sake of the planet, actually, for the ley lines, the tectonic plates, and many other things. And so getting that lady light, not only in nurturing others, advising them, speaking to them, waking them up to a level where they're lowered, because if there's no allowance, there's no use of waking up. We are at a stage that those who are leaving the planet will never come back. The reincarnation cycle is dead and gone and over. It will not be allowed anymore, as everybody did have enough time to move into their light essence, authenticity, and the new environment, atmosphere of becoming a light entity that moves, communicates, and brings through new technology with the cosmos, with the galaxies, with everything out there, and that is massive. So it's the age of Aquarius, new inventions, new technologies, and to my feeling, we are moving far too slow. So I would suggest to really bring the gold and copper tones with your orange movement and work with the species in the oceans, such as the dolphins, the whales, the sharks, the fish, the coral kingdoms are very, very important. We need to repair all of that and get your information down there, and moving into that state of bliss, at least until the end of July, because a state of bliss that comes through pearl essence ray, or the Tahitian pearl, for example, and the oceans over there. So the communication with these species is very important, in a sense that they carry billions of years of memory codes and high level intelligence, of course, otherwise they could not survive. So here, opening that nurturing lady light and bringing that to people is important, and assisting them in a light environment. For those who would like to work with a very deep meditation and connecting with the 12 pearls of the universe and the wisdom that comes with them under in the oceans, that I have that out there. It's 1 hour of deep alignment, working with a dolphin whale that will show you the way, which is great to uplift yourself, nurture yourself, and keep yourself in a very high state of balance beyond peace. And that is necessary, actually, to open up the new great central sun vibrations over in the month of August, with a new sun stream and the elements that require the higher spiritual universal bodies to ground new essences and to avoid whatever governments are willing to bring through. So a light body can detect and deflect any dense energies, and that is a great way to place your energy fields within corporations, and also especially in nature, in certain places that need a high level repair. That's the way that is being done. And so being assisted with or through the animal kingdom especially, they have high level guidance to tell you what is going on and what you need to do, especially. Speaking about the movement from the orange into the yellow configuration, so the Cancer energies into the sun, the great central sun, with your sun stream, essentially means that we are breaking through the old astrological chart that needs its complete breakdown, because that is the big mess that has been created actually with the old solar flares on the planet, and that is what broke your veins, so to speak. And so getting into that joy level, no matter what is going on, is also needed to bring the bigger brain shifts through with a spiritual brain that overrides the old departments that do no longer exist. So here I would strongly suggest, as we are moving anyways into the great evacuation, people do not want to listen, people do not want to know, and still wearing the mask, then there is a great division taking place along the great gathering. So there's two platforms. One is on the divine timeline, the other one is in the crumbling of old consciousness that will not have any degree on the planet left anymore. Many people also at this time asking me how about diets. Diets are very important, although for myself I cannot possibly buy much or anything anymore in supermarkets. It's all plastic fruits and vegetables, so I refrain or have a good look in my search engine for those farmers who still sell some vegetables, and I'm okay with that, as I juice a lot. I juice more than I eat, because if you lift your body up into the higher frequencies, your body doesn't need that much food anymore. So, and certainly not the blood of the animal kingdoms in your veins. You cannot imagine the divine lifting you up with the cruelty being catapulted on animals in your blood construction. You cannot have the fear and instincts of animal in your entire system, drinking, smoking, eating, and thinking whatever you want, and being lifted into divine consciousness. Imagine that. That is not possible. Your frequency or your level in consciousness needs to match that purified vibration. So it's all about the lifting up and making these new choices real. It is easy going into a vegan diet, because I mean, you have recipes on YouTube like every day. It is so easy. It is willing to move from free will into divine consciousness, a spiritual body, and allowing the frequencies of a grid that override everything ever termed the matrix, and thus the atmosphere of big illusions. So I'm just saying, I'm vegan for 50 years now, so I wouldn't know any longer. But as you move into higher light bodies, the frequencies of peaceful vibration, especially this time around, in which you nurture the higher frequencies with the higher senses in order to assist nature and the animal kingdom, then your senses open up, especially the smell in the body. You almost smell like dogs smell on a higher frequency. So when I go out in the city, I need a hanky with me to keep before my nose, not a mask, because I cannot stand the smell of that meat and that food anymore. It's a horror movie for people that already moved into their higher senses. And this time around, I can smell the density in brains. I can smell the monsters in people's brains, the negativity, the resistance, and thus that old ego consciousness, which is a terrible thing. But then again, the divine tells me, stand strong in your vibe and get stronger every day, because if we need to address the masses, then we need to address everything and have our eyes open enough to really assist what is going on with the animal kingdoms, and that is a bigger horror movie than ever anticipated, along with the highest level of torture done to our children with a mask, done to our children with sex trafficking, done to our children that are kept in cages, and all that entire line, we witness on social media and the newscasts, and that is actually only 30% by now. So here we need to really gather together and move into the higher frequencies, matching self, and that is making new choices, coming up with new ideas with the Aquarian energies. Just load the Aquarian energies, so, and work with that. Like also, I had that idea while in community building. A great thing would also be like going beyond what was ever termed religion and churches. I had the idea just to build a divine temple, because I think the word divine encompasses all religions, all people. A divine temple where we have a Sunday reunion with a great meditation, with the energies being straight channeled from my source and giving people that. That is going to church actually. And then opening all of my parlor, so to speak, into a philosophical room where we truly gather and speak within a room of divine terminology, which is the biggest part. So those interested, I will open that already over here, or if people are interested any place abroad, I'm ready to take any aircraft. So I'm not into bilocation or trilocation yet, but then again, these things need to come, right? Because if we cannot fly any longer, then we need to come up with the beauty and the capacities of the higher senses and open that up into the many light configurations around what is physically seen. So the physical body, the physical appearance needs to change as well. And here, nurturing the self also means that you have a good look at what a good diet could be, because what you put in the body will have its output in your brains, right? So there's a lot of foods that are no longer acceptable. So wheat, for example, is a terrible thing on the body. Even in vegan diets, there are a lot of bad vibrations in the foods, and so I would suggest just to keep it as natural as possible. Just, beans and vegetables and some rice or pasta, potato, and you'll be fine. If you juice a lot, and take a lot of herbal teas. Herbal teas are #1 in minerals and vitamins, as they are dried and very, very nurturing for the body. So that is great to bring the change through and assist the bigger picture, actually. So I'm wondering, where will you start to nurture beyond the family member, beyond the children and animals? So it starts with yourself, because if you have that higher vibration of nurturing and becoming a lady in light, the higher mothering energies that also resurrects with all children, with all men, with all of humanity, then we can see the bigger picture, actually, that is going to assist us to exit the present state of consciousness, and all that control mechanic that is moving through. So here also, I don't know, I'm volunteering on the New Earth project, which is very interesting. A lot of information comes down from physicians, scientists, and people that speak on a high intelligent factor, with the truth coming out. So there has been a 7-day information deck with a communist or a nucleic summit. So I would strongly suggest you watch that video. That's about 3 hours and a half with massive information about what is going on worldwide. So if you want the truth about anything, vaccine, mask, from higher professionals, I will put that link in the description box as well, for those willing to move in at least a higher spiritual body and a grid environment that moves there. I have that link as well. It's a 5-day alignment, or simply move in a short meditational alignment with here the pearl essence rays, that higher bliss vibration in the body, and then completing everything old, which means you get an overhaul in your lungs capacity. You surpass the old vibrations, and you open up the higher breath of light. That is also, I think, about 5 meditations, which are very, very important. So those who have their own thing in meditation, that is fabulous as well. I also opened up that book, The I Am Presence, that is the energy fields that surround us with all the galaxies and universes, or in which they put their consciousness, and so we can elevate consciousness. That is a great book which I made. I made those 55 cards, art cards, with an I am presentation that explains where you are at, what you could do at a certain time on the zones we are living right now. So it's a great gift also if you have people suffering from disease. They can easily pick a card from the I am and just repeat the mantras I included with it, which is great as well. Or just making a new book of your life, and so getting actually into the higher frequencies of rewarding your life and getting new purposes. And so I have created that book as well, in which you learn to manifest faster on the spot with ancient fun technology, and so you can rewrite that time after time, and I will have that as well in the description box. So let's move ahead. Think about the nurturing, but also about the severity of the divine. The divine temple within can only come up with a truthful temple when information is channeled in the right place at the right time with your direct connect to your source, your spirit, and the spark of self. We are done with ego consciousness or the old solar flares, at least. So that is great. So I would say command, thank you for being with me. Share my channel should you like it. The information is important. I'm not here for a airy-fairy degree of information. We are done with that. We are done with the astrological chart. We move all the way celestial universal. So that is reason why I opened this channel, to override everything old and no more recycling. And that is what brings the shift in the brains. And so for those willing to move a lot more quicker, I specialize in severe lung diseases. I specialize in assisting traumas with children and youth especially. But then again, any disease, any overhaul, and I work one-on-one with you on Skype and eliminate or bring the healing through instantly, which will be felt for a whole week. Should you be willing to do that, so I can give you advice and open up where, yeah, your energy is actually to where you truly want to be, minus the nonsense being spread so wild today. So keep yourself safe, lift yourself up. Keep in mind the nurturing comes with severe consciousness only, and that is pretty much a lot of detail, grounding in order to open up the frequencies of Orion, or the great central sun. Thank you.